Well, good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's 2 days in a row. It's the 2nd of March, and we're back on the deer park again. We were here yesterday with tractor with T5 with the mow plough, and first job was just to check how we're getting on. I reckon that one's worked anyway. So hopefully you'll see where the edge of the puddle used to be, around here, and yeah, it's shrunk to a tiny little puddle. It's still wet, but unfortunately I was about, what, 50 centimetres, a couple of foot out. So never mind, it should grab it still. Right, while I'm in here, I might as well show you guys that are regulars. This is our, what we call garden house, that we're trying to convert at the moment. This used to be the dormitories for the girls when you had riding holidays. But we're now turning it into like an Airbnb. So we've now got a paint on the walls, everything's plastered, fireplace is done. I won't move that one-handed, but I think there is a stove going in. I don't know if it's in. So built the hearth around it, stove to go in, everything's painted, first fixes in, all leckies are in, all plumbing's in. So just need to start the bathrooms now. So yeah, that's the first room. Across the hall, that's going to be an entranceway with all the electrics and stuff, fire stuff in there. Into here, there'll be another bedroom. I'd say big enough to put double beds in. See if this door's actually dry. Ooh. Into here, be another bathroom. Be shower and toilet in each one. Down the corridor, turn right, and this is the disabled access bedroom. So there's basically a toilet in there. Oh, it's going to get dark. It's going to get fitted out so you can have a wall shower in there and spin round and get from the shower to the toilet to the hand basin. And then obviously bed's going to be in here. Back into the main seating area, dining area, / kitchen to go in as well. So kitchen's going to fit into this corner and onto this side. Apparently we're having problems with windows now. There's supposed to be like a patio door set, but the people that we got to try and do them seem to have gone quite quiet. The world seems to be running out of material at the moment. So into the utility room, which will have, if I remember right, it's supposed to be a washing machine, possibly a dryer going in there, probably a fridge freezer will be in here, and you're into the next bedroom. So again, big enough to have a double bed in it, and another ensuite bathroom with shower, toilet and sink. So another coat of paint in there, and then we've just got a little toilet, communal toilet type thing. So that's to be done. There is gallons and gallons of white paint gone into here. So yeah, still a bit to go. So there's all the bathrooms to go in, second fits. I think there's some of the plumbing still to do in here. Obviously the kitchen wants to go in, all wants to get furnished. Door edges won't put it back on. So yeah, there's still quite a bit to do in here, but I'm trying to keep out of it. So, right, I'm going to the next bit, because I've just found a tape measure. There we go. Look at that, brand spanking new. How long before I break it? So that out the back door will be, not a great big bloody drop. Ooh. So, out here we're just starting to sort out the back garden. Some of you remember the privet edge I put in a while back, which is doing great up that end, but I think there used to be a path that ran that way. So they're the stones, so they're struggling a bit. But basically we've just had some plans drawn up where we have paving coming out at sill level all the way across there, out to this corner, straight across there, right to the wall, and down this bit here as well.
Right, well, this is a surprise. We are in the T5, defined by the blue bonnet. But we've actually got the roller on the back. Now this is the first time I've rolled this field this early, I think. We are in the boys' winter field, and the ground is just about right for it. This is quite a heavy ground down here, or up here should I say, it's quite heavy ground here of clay, so when it dries it turns into pretty much concrete. So you've usually got a couple of days between it being sopping wet or rock hard, and we seem to be in that little bit of a band at the moment. So, as I say, I've got the roll on the back. When we spin round it quite, see better how far I've got. Probably a good third of the field done. There's a few reasons why I'm doing it now. Obviously because the conditions are pretty good. Two, it'll take out the hoof marks off the horses, or the horses have left in, which means they won't fill so much full of water, which means that they don't start chomping it through and turn into more of a cutline. Also, generally you're pushing anything that shouldn't be there, so stones and sometimes horseshoes as well, to be fair. But yeah, it should also stimulate the grass as well, I'm hoping. Basically it's a bit of an old trick, farmer's trick of, if you roll it you damage the leaves, kind of break them, when you don't move any of the, or don't remove any of the grass. So it basically stimulates it to grow more. It's a bit like cutting a flowering plant. If you cut a plant, it can make more flowers and most of it. So yeah, it's not going too badly. Just so I'm just keeping an eye out with the horses. I'm only doing, well at the moment I'm doing 8Ks, but kind of 7.5, 8Ks I'm doing. Just so that I'm not flying around the field, because a couple of reasons. Do it too fast, you're not really doing the job it's meant to. It kind of flies over the top of the high bits and misses the low bits. Two, we have got a new horse in here, so I am trying to take it slowly to see what it's like. To be honest, it's fine with me, it just seems to be playing silly buggers with other horses. But that's one of the things. Plus, if I'm going too fast, I don't particularly want to spook them and set the ball off with him, because that's when they get stupid. And I can see it already starting to build now, but we'll see what happens in a bit. Basically, I just slow down a little bit and see what they do. I have done quite well, because from here to the left hand side of the screen, I've done already. And most of the horses were down on the other side of the field. But of course now I'm getting across it, they want to be in my bit, so you can't win. As I say, they're quite settled. Most of the time being in here, they've all had their heads down, eating. But those four horses, just where I've come from, where I turned round earlier, and they've come down this end and basically wound everybody up. And they don't need wind up as it is. Right, well, I spun around there. I have done this headland quite wide, just so I've got quite a big area to turn in. I don't want to be mucking up the ground, because there isn't actually that much grass in these headlands. This is the end where all the horses get turned out and walked back in. So it's always the heavily damaged areas. So yeah, we're not doing too bad. There is a bit of a covering on the roller of muck, because the right hand side of this field had some holes in it, and the headland I've just turned on is quite wet in the gate holes. Notice I had to drag this through the gate hole to get it through. So we've probably got half an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch of muck on that. You can see in the field, it's not really cleaned up in the field. It's just found everything nicely. There is a bit on the tyres, but again, it's nothing to worry about really. Field's looking quite good. For those that were around when I mowed this, I did say I was going to leave it. Hey up, we're doing a DPF clean. Brilliant. For those who were around when I cut this field, I did say I was going to leave it a little bit longer. when I mowed it for hay, just so it recovered a little bit better, which works splendidly. So this field had about 6 inches of grass on it. You can probably see now it's quite brown because the horses haven't eaten it all, or eaten it down to the ground anyway. So the grass is looking quite good. It means the roots were better, which means it's held up better as the horses have been running around. I mentioned previously we have got a few less horses in here than we usually have. We usually got a few more mares. Oh, sorry, we've got a few more mares this year than geldings. So yeah, it's held up so far fairly well. There is another 6 weeks or so to go before we'll be possibly turned out. It's kind of April time. We turn out between beginning of April and end of April, depending what weather's like and ground conditions are like elsewhere, and grass growth to be fair. So yeah, and once that gets done, we'll be hopefully onto a bit of field work, proper field work. I do generally, well, one of the reasons I'm doing this now, as I say, is because it's supple enough. I have done this in the past when the horses are out, because you can get on a little bit faster. You don't have to worry about the horses. But what I have found is it becomes so hard, I've had to roll this field to break up some of the clods, chain harrowed it to try and put the clods back into a hole, and then re-roll it again, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. So I'm expecting to roll this again at some point, but it'll be most likely probably after I've muck spread. So I'll be muck spread, chain harrowed, re-rolled again to push any of the stones that get thrown out of the muck spreader into the ground or have come up, and then it'll be a case of leaving it until it's time to mow. And I think this year I'm going to take grass off it. Last year we failed to take it off because it was so wet and I had so much grass to try and turn because my big tenner didn't work. This basically got left, but to be fair, it did it some good. There wasn't a lot of this field anyway. What there was got incorporated back into the field again. So any seed had been dropped, so yeah, nice shoot back in type job. So yeah, that should be good. The muck we put onto this field will be the one that's right in front of us in our big pile. The pile's probably about 25 foot, 20 foot, and probably 30 foot wide, and at the moment it's probably about 30 foot deep. There's not a huge amount there. It won't do all this field, but it will do a good chunk of it. And anything else you can scavenge as well to throw onto it. Right, so we're in this wet bit. It's kind of like that, straight through the field for whatever reason. But I have turned my slip on. You can see at the top there. We are going slightly downhill, so it's not actually slipping. I have up to 6% wheel slip, which isn't too bad to be honest. You can see like where the tyres have been in ground now. It's just pulled the mud up a little bit. Apart from that, roller's got some on still, but it's not too bad. It'll flick a little bit off. Don't know where you can see just here, there's a wet patch. So yeah, obviously mow plan doesn't go into that, but it's definitely worked to eat the rest of it. And there's also a tight mark here as well that, well, most of it's just straw from the upriver, a few sticks, but I'll pick them up later. Right, we'll carry on. Yeah. Hey little buddy. You're a tiny boy. Right, we're about done. Just found that rabbit or leveret, whatever it is over there near the jump, so I'm going to leave this bottom end. And horses are quite happy down here. Plus I reckon at some point we're probably going to flood again. So all that's done over there. I've done a bad job.
see how much is on the roller. It's just started packing in quite well now because it's down this bottom end's still damp, so that's actually kind of thick. So I'll be knocking on to an inch thick there. Not quite so thick there, but yeah, I'll say there's a bit of mud on the tyres as well, but the ground itself hasn't really got anything. Done this side. I was just about to do this strip up here. Don't know if you can see it very well, but it's kind of the left hand side's been done, right hasn't. But it's just taking some of these lumps and bumps out there in the ground. Paddled it in a bit because it is just about soft. So anyway, that's it. We'll put the roller back and we're done. So thanks very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.